Welcome to CEO Fuel, where epic leaders come to get recharged and fueled up for success. Your host, Aprille Franks-Hunt, Super CEO of Coach, Speak, and Serve, is serving up the fuel you need to connect with other amazing leaders and learn new strategies to help you create more impact and profits in your businesses. Now, here's Aprille.
Hey there, everybody. It is CEO Fuel time. I am your host, Aprille Hunt, Master Coach and President of Coach, Speak, and Serve, and the Administrator of the Community Coach, Speak, and Write for Profits. And I'm super excited to be with you tonight in this special edition, special edition of CEO Fuel with my icons. This is part one of a two-part series, so make sure that not only are you tuning in tonight, but you also tune in a week from tonight. So you'll be looking for our second part of the series. And so I want to know where you all are viewing from, who's watching, what's happening. So make sure you tag someone, let me know where you're viewing from and what you hope to learn tonight, how you can, and this episode is about how do you increase your influence, do all the things that entrepreneurs do this world and this climate and not lose the damn mind, right? How do you remain, authentic to yourself and build a brand and navigate this social media space and really leap into what you're looking to manifest for yourself in regards to your life and how that plays and parlays into your business and what is this business of driven success you guys may have seen. So that's what tonight's episode is about. So if you're watching, make sure I know where you're watching from because I have some amazing guests that I'm going to be introducing here shortly, and they're going to be giving you the tea on everything that I just shared. So thank you again. And I want to first have to say and give a big kudos shout out to our production, our producer, Mr. Rob. Rob, where you at? Rob, thank you. Yes, Rob. Yes. He's like, what? What do we want? Yes. It says introduce the production team, and that would be you. So Rob is in Baltimore, and he does an amazing job of producing CEOFUEL and tons of other shows. As a matter of fact, over 500 other shows that he's produced. And so if you're looking for a producer, for someone to produce a really nice, high-quality production for you, then make sure that you connect with me, and I'll give you the CSS special, and you can connect with Rob, and he can help you out. And so I want to tell you about the individuals that we're going to have on tonight's show. And first is going to be Barbara Pender. And Barbara is really fantastic. She obviously, look at her. She's like gorgeous, right? Y'all see her? Look, I don't know if she's to the left or the right, but she's there. So just an amazing individual. She really has captured this whole idea of the social sage and how you really navigate and crush the social media space today, right? Because we all know that things have changed as an entrepreneur, right? And let me know in the comments, like, what's your social media platform of choice? And Barbara can potentially speak to that and even comment after the show and give you some ways that you can connect with her and get some tips and things, right? And then our next guest is going to be the awesome and amazing Tiffany Stewart. And Dr. Tiffany Stewart, who just shamed all of us with her headshot. Look at her, right? Like, she looks amazing. But Dr. Tiffany is going to be talking about how you can really attract the life that you want, right? How do you attract the life that you want? How do you leap into your purpose? How do you still remain like who you are in this space? And what do you have to do to get moving, to get things kind of rolling? And then after her is going to be our amazing, and yes, everyone is amazing. So let's just everyone be clear right now that we're all amazing. Okay. I'm amazing. They're amazing. Rob's amazing. You're amazing. So let's go ahead and just seal the deal with our epicness. But we're going to be talking to Audra, and Audra's really going to be sharing, how do you maintain the authenticity? And is authenticity, is that just a buzzword or is it real? Right? Because you see a lot of faking it, right, on social media. You see a lot of people putting up these facades, even in their professional life. They're climbing the corporate ladder, and they're really just not being authentic. And so Audra's really going to speak to that. So if you're looking for that and that life part, then make sure that you listen up and you have your ears to the computer for Audra. And then last but not least, certainly is one of our epic ambassadors, and she's going to be sharing with you about the whole branding piece. She's the CEO of If You Brand It, and her name is Keenya Kelly. So Keenya is going to be talking to you about if you brand it. So it used to be like, if you build it, they'll come, right? Well, that's really not true. If you build it, you're going to spend a bunch of money, but that doesn't mean that they're going to come, right? And so she's going to teach you how you build it, brand it, and then cash in, right? Because that's the whole idea, right? You're an entrepreneur. Again, this show is for entrepreneurs, by entrepreneurs. And the only way for you to really monetize and make money in your business is if you know how to do it. And so Kenya's going to give you a couple pointers on what you can do there. And then next in the show, after we speak with our guests, I'm going to be sharing with you my newest favorite thing. So I really want you guys to guess. And let me just say this, before I even move forward and we get to the bottom line, please, everyone, this is a world announcement. No more gummy bears. Don't buy me any more gummy bears. Like I am gummy beared out. Okay. I wish I had brought it from the office, but I have a 5-pound ass bag of gummy bears that one of our ambassadors, Gwen, sent me. Before that, I was in St. Louis and my girlfriend, SunitaWells.com. I go in the room where I'm going to be sleeping in the guest room and there's gummy bears on the bed. Before that, I was in Rhode Island and I had a gift bag on the bed at the hotel and I open it. You guessed it, gummy bears. So I'm like, I'm going to turn into a big ass red gummy bear like any day now. So no more gummy bears. So that's not my favorite thing, but I can't wait to share with you what it is. And then I'm going to be sharing with you the bottom line. And the bottom line, I really am going to wrap up this and give you a money making tip that you can walk out of today's show watching and walk out and really implement in your business right away on how you can make some cash now. Okay. So that's going to be my bottom line at the end of the show. So again, thank you so much for joining us on CEO Fuel, and make sure you let us know where you're coming and viewing from, and make sure you tag a friend. Okay. And also, we're all about to share, so make sure you guys are sharing as well. Big shout out to Michael Brandon Harris, who did my makeup. Shout out to also Summer Randall, who designed this wig for me. I actually borrowed it from her at Epic, and then she made one for me and delivered it to me a couple nights ago. And so you guys may remember this look from Epic on Mastery Day. And so I'm just excited for you guys to be here, and I'm glad to be of service in this way, delivering content by amazing individuals. So without further ado, I want to bring to the stage Miss Barbara Pender. Barbara, where are you? Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Good. Oh, there she is. Awesome. So Barbara, so first of all, Barbara she's been our Epic speaker several times in a row. She is awesome and amazing. She's one of our icons. Barbara, can you just tell people, just give them the 60-second skinny on what you do and why you love social media so much?
Oh my gosh, of course, I sure can. So thank you so much for having me on the show, and also along with these wonderful colleagues of mine. My name is Barbara Pender. I'm a certified social media strategist. I hail from Miami, Florida, although I am really all over. Social media to me is so impactful in my particular life because as I was growing up, I was very, very shy. So fast forward, and I mean blazing fast forward, since I just have 60 seconds, it really astounds me sometimes that this is the industry that I am in, when before I couldn't even wave my hand to stop a bus and I had to get to school on time. For you and your business, social media is the thing that is going to propel your business to the visibility that it deserves to be.
Very good. Thank you so much, Barbara. So Barbara, you know, you and I'm trying to think, where did we meet? Did we meet? Where did we meet?
The very first time that we met was, guess what, via video, where you were giving out Lisa Nichols passes to Motivating the Masses. In person, we met at Motivating the Masses. And I remember like it was yesterday because you were so driven. I was like, hey, I'm Barbara. I know Danielle. And you were like, hey, I'm Aprille. And she put her head down and she was focused. No joke.
He was like, oh my God, this heifer. But here we are.
Well, here we are.
So, you know what's great about that? What's really great about that, Barbara, to me, is that we're still in it, right? And there's so many entrepreneurs, right? And what you've seen, and people, you know, getting on, they fall in love with social media, they fall out of it, they don't want to be bothered with it, but we're still here, right? I'm still here doing the same thing I was doing when you met me years ago. And Barbara's still here, right? And the chat is blowing up right now. So listen, we haven't even started giving y'all the good. Okay.
Yes.
But Barbara, so can you just share with people, like, one of the things I said, social media today, right? What are things that people need to know today? There's so many platforms, so many different things like happening. How do people are overwhelmed. They have jobs and husbands and kids. So what are some things that people really need to know on how they can navigate the space so that it works for them, so that they don't lose their authenticity, so that they don't get stagnant?
Okay, so here's what I want to focus on before I come across as saying, oh, you're using the wrong platform, which I won't say because we don't have the time for me to analyze that and what you should be on. But what I want to stress, my very first point, is measuring what you are doing. Measuring what you are doing so that you can see the impact of that results. And that, before I tell you, would tell you whether or not you're on the right platform. So here's what I'd like to do. Here's what I'd like for you to do. So hashtag Clout, Klout. It is a easy, simple, end user friendly application for you to measure the platforms with an S that you are on. I want you to go there, sign up. It's free, it's a freemium, and it will be able to follow you based on what you put out there and how it is going to affect your community. So when you can measure what you are doing, you'll feel more confident in providing the content, and therefore you will be more engaging. That's step number one, measuring what you are putting out there on social media.
Very good. And what's the next thing, Barbara? And I love Clout. Can I just speak to Clout for a second?
Oh, yes, please do.
So I really do love Clout. I love that Clout has the ability also, never mind the ranking element, but I do use that as a personal bar. Like, I'm like, okay, because it's real. Like, if I fall off, then my numbers will drop. But what I also love about Clout is that you can select various content and then have it scheduled to various other social media platforms. And I don't know if people know that, but I do love Clout. I'm team Clout.
Exactly. And one other point is that when it does dip, although you're not going to pay attention to the numbers, but when you're up there and it does dip, you will be able to reflect, what did I do that day? Or what didn't I do? And when it goes up, well, oh, that's the day I launched. Oh yeah, that's the day I started my 5-step program to what have you. And so you'll be able to follow that and know that made a big difference. Nothing else out there that you can see so clearly is going to tell you that.
Awesome. And your next tip?
The next tip is what I want to focus on is for all of us who are listening right now, we recall how business used to be. Okay. So let's just say I'm the oldest one in the room, because I probably am, right? But if you think 30 years back, okay, I can think 30 years back, I'm going to admit it. But if you can think 10 to 20 to 30 years back of how we used to do business, website, before website, flyers, you had a flyer, you would have bombed. Before flyers, you had to have that business card, right? I know Keenya has resonated with me, right? And she's not, I said 30 years back, the chick is probably 30. But if as far back as you can go with your business, and remember how business used to be. So now we have social media, and now corporate is involved in social media. So now corporations now want to be small so they can reach you. You now want to be big so you can look like a corporation. The tool that's going to do both, allow you to do both, is social media. You're on the even playing field when you are utilizing this tool in the right space. So yes, we fall right back and we start talking about the platform. So my point here is you're going to sign up for Clout. You're going to see what has been going on. And then you're going to determine which one of those platforms is going to be good for your business from a metric standpoint. Your community, your tribe, your clients, and your prospective clients are going to seal that deal and tell you which platforms you are using from that standpoint.
Love it. Thank you so much. So listen, there's more where that came from. So make sure if you have questions in the chat, what platform do you think you should be on? Tag Barbara. Make sure you're following her on her fan page and she can assist you. You can hire her. You can follow her and get some of her good social media goodies. but the cloud really is a good place to start. And so, Barbara, I know you've got tons of knowledge. There's no way we can go through all of your amazingness in just a few minutes. And so that's why we really wanted to give you an opportunity to showcase yourself and let people know where they can follow you and what's happening next. Barbara's also one of my authors in Driven Success, and so she's going to kind of tell you a little bit about that. Where can people follow you, and how can they support what you have going on?
Okay, awesome. So let me start with the book, which I'm so proud of. 10 categories, Amazon bestseller. The book is called Driven Success, and it's not just a book, it's a movement. So that's mydrivensuccess.com, www.mydrivensuccess.com. And then from all of the information that I just gave you, come on over and join me in the Pandemonium Lab. This is what we do. We break down social media for your business so that you can apply those tips. Now, I just released an online live stream show talking about online dating. So you can catch me, turn on that notification for me, and you can catch me every night for the next 56 days, because your girl would be 56 in 55 days is what that's all about. And you can catch me every night talking about that. And I look forward to seeing you guys there. I speak in a different voice and everything because it's all about real confessions.
Oh, shucks. Oh my gosh, I love it. Barbara, thank you so much. And you know what I love? I love how, and this is something we can talk about when Keenya comes up later in the show. And that is, just because you have a brand doing one thing doesn't mean that you can't parlay into other interests and do other things and talk about other things. This Saturday, I'm going to be interviewing Paul C. Brunson, and we're going to be talking about single mamas and dating. So I'm like really excited to talk about that. I'm not a single mama now, but I was for 13 years before I got married. And listen, so you can definitely parlay. So Barbara, I'm super excited that you've been able to do that. And I can't wait to see what kind of tea you spilling over there on your own platform. But thank you for joining us. You guys, make sure you follow Barbara and get a copy of her book from mydrivensuccess.com. Thanks, Barbara.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with Miss Dr. Tiffany Stewart.
Hey, you guys, it's Aprille Hunt, and I am the Master Business Coach of Coach, Speak, and Serve. One of the things that I enjoy doing, and this may resonate with you, is assisting purpose-driven entrepreneurs who are life and or business coaches, public speakers, authors, bloggers, and consultants maximize their message so that they can monetize that gift. And that's what Coach, Speak, and Serve is about. Listen, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for the underdog. I am coming for the person who is willing and ready to step into their divine purpose and calling through business. That's who I want. I want you to join me on this driven success journey, not only with myself, but with thousands of others of individuals who are looking to do just the same thing as you are. I want to see you at mydrivensuccess.com and get on a path that will change your life forever.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to CEO Fuel. I'm your host, Aprille Hunt, Master Coach and President of Coach, Speak, and Serve, and the Community Administrator for the online Facebook group, which I call the Bentley of Facebook communities, Coach, Speak, and Write for Profits. And if you just are now tuning in, you just missed Barbara Pender, you can make sure you're following her for all things social media. And coming up next, we're going to be talking about 4 secrets to attracting and living the life you want. And I want to introduce to you someone who I had the pleasure of meeting online. She's one of my icons. She's super smart, a professor. She's already a professor, okay? And she's decided to follow her own path and help women really leap into the life that they want. And so I want to bring on Dr. Tiffany Stewart. Tiffany, where are you?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. Thank you so much for having me here.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying yes and making yourself available today. Can you share with the people, how did we come in contact? Where did we meet?
We met online and I was like, listen, I connect with you. Because I usually go after my mentors, which I teach people to do. Like, you go after what you want. Don't wait for them to seek you out. So I went after what I wanted. So
absolutely. I love it. Tiffany, can you tell people what you do during the day? And then why did you decide to become a success coach?
Absolutely. So I am a tenured associate professor of counseling, and I am also a licensed therapist doing private practice. And so I decided, to follow my passion and transition into a success coach, because I was living a life that so many of my clients that I found were living, which is I wasn't being fed by the titles, the degrees, and just the things that I had. Like I needed something else that was going to feed back into me. And it was a common thread that I was seeing with my clients, with my students, that we are really a society of habitually unhappy people. And so it is now my goal to make sure I can grab and reach as many people as possible to say, listen, you don't have to live your life unhappy. You can really create the life that you want. You can be successful. You can have the husband. You can have the job. You can travel wherever you want. You really can create whatever it is that you want in your life. So that is my mission and my goal in life right now.
I love it. I so love it. Come on then with the Oprah-esque message. Oh, wait. So I talked to Tiffany. Tiffany's like, Iyanla, I'm coming for you, sister. I'm coming for you. Yes. So Tiffany, so we have this talk, and you and I have spoken before about, people attracting into their life, what they want to have, and how do they really begin to start that process. Can you share with people how can they, we talked about social media a little bit, we're going to talk about branding, we're going to talk about authenticity, but how do people, get that stinking thinking out of there, and how do they start to really manifest what they want? What do they have to do?
Well, I have this acronym that I live by, and I actually relate it to every single aspect of my life, and it is LEAP. You have to leap into your life. And my LEAP stands for let go expectations, accept possibilities, meaning you have to let go of your past. You have to let go of all of the things that may have happened in your life. Let go of the self-limiting beliefs and anything that keeps you stuck in the place that you are. Start expecting good things to happen in your life instead of expecting that, something's bad is going to happen. It's too good to be true. You start expecting great things to happen in your life. And then you accept that you are in the exact place at the exact time that you need to be there. It's no coincidence that you are where you are in this very moment. And then accept all of the possibilities on the other side of that when you are able to just drop all of those other things. So many possibilities.
I love it. So you talk about letting go, which is really hard for people, right? Like letting go of I think one of the biggest challenges I run into as a master business coach is people are very caught up in where they think they should be by now.
Yes.
Right? Like where they think they should be by now. And that right there keeps them paralyzed. Like, I'm this age, I should have done this by now. I should be married. I should have this. I should have this amount of money. My credit should be this. And so I love number one, because a lot of times, Tiffany, and correct me if I'm wrong, even in your daily career, do you find that people, they somehow will talk themselves down from the thing that they really are wanting, because they're really living, it's like they want to fast forward to the success, but they don't want to let go of the mess.
Right. And it's actually people talk themselves out of doing it before they even start. It's like they make up all of the reasons why it can't happen, why it can't be, which is really related to the expectations. When I say you start expecting good things, the accepting that you are in the exact place that you need to be at the exact moment. You should not have done it 20 years ago because it wouldn't have worked out 20 years ago. Absolutely. You are here right now. This is when it's happening. And this is where you need to be. Absolutely. That's really what it is.
I love it. And I love the whole expectation part. Like, I think, and if Tiffany is speaking your language right now, let us know in the comments. If you're ready to leap, LEAP in the comments, LEAP in the comments, LEAP in the comments, because it's really important that we identify, right, Tiffany, and that people understand that the possibilities really exist and you can really have what you want, but there's some work that has to be done, which is why you help people transform their lives, right? And I know that you have a challenge going on right now. Can you tell people a little bit about it and where they can find out about the challenge?
Absolutely. I have this wonderful 5-day life clarity challenge going on right now. So we are at the tail end of it. It ends tomorrow, but you can still hop on just to be able to give yourself a picture to create the life you want, because you have to create the picture first before you start creating the roadmap. So we are helping you to get clear in that challenge, and you can go to www.tiffanystewartphd.com/challenge, and you can register and still get in and catch up on that challenge.
Awesome. You guys make sure someone types that in the comments below. That is TiffanyStewartPhD.com/challenge. Make sure that you, again, one of the other icons that's not on right now, type that in the comments so people can connect with Tiffany's challenge. Tiffany Stewart, please listen, I think you're awesome and amazing. Thank you so much for gracing our virtual studio, and I'll see you in the Icon Lounge.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Awesome. Yeah. So here, I just have to say, and I have to interject here before we bring in our next guest with this, which is Miss Audra Upchurch. But I just have to say, like, one of the things about being an entrepreneur for myself is, I had to tell myself that I could do it, right? I couldn't there's tons of things and tons of reasons that that are legitimate, right? That would be legitimate reasons. If someone pulled out the Aprille Hunt map of shit she's done in her life and things that have happened, there's plenty of things on that list that is like, oh yeah, if she didn't do nothing with her life, it'll be all right. That poor child, right? And everybody kind of has that thing, like someone lost a job, someone, hit the recession, someone's spouse got laid off, someone got sick. Whatever your thing is, it exists for all of us. Everybody has something, but we still have to decide if we're going to jump into that next thing or not. If we're going to, and Rhonda A. White, shout out to Rhonda A. White, gave an amazing keynote at Epic, and her closing keynote was about jumping. And I equate that to also taking the leap and doing the thing that you want, but you first have to give yourself permission. And so that's why I love the L, is about that whole letting go element, right? Yes. And as entrepreneurs and many of you all who are watching are entrepreneurs, you're on social media, you're doing these different things, but a lot of you all haven't given yourself permission to actually be great, permission to walk into your full purpose, permission to be fearless and unafraid. And that's a real big deal. You can have all the skills and talents in the world, but your mindset will trap you and keep you broke, busted, and disgusted. And so that's why we have to incorporate the mindset element, is because it doesn't matter what strategy you have. If in your heart of hearts, you don't believe you deserve the success. And that's what we want to get out of. And so I want to talk to, and I want to bring on our next guest, which is a great segue into Miss Audra Upchurch, and because she's going to be talking about this whole authenticity piece. Audra, are you there?
I am here, Aprille.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
So, hey, Audra. So Audra, you all, is one of my shining stars. I love Audra. She's one of our icons. Audra is a doer. She's an implementer, and I love that. The people that work with me, typically they work with me because they're ready to get into action. And so I really do love that about her. So Audra, can you tell, where did we meet? We met at Epic, right?
We met at Epic, but I started following you on Periscope by accident.
Right. Y'all have to listen to a different live for that story. But again, social media. Are you guys hearing this thread? Right? We started with social media with Barbara Pender. Right? Someone watched me online, saw me online. So it's important for you to show up for your audience. So Audra, you are the creator and the visionary behind Freedom to Thrive, which you guys can join her Facebook community, Freedom to Thrive. Mm-hmm. But Audra, can you speak to this whole authenticity piece? Like, everyone's talking about being transparent and authentic, and so is it real, Audra, or is it just a buzzword?
Okay, first of all, let me give a shout out to my online community, Freedom to Thrive. If you're watching the broadcast right now, put in the comments, #I am free. I got it, ladies, you got to represent. Okay, now, if authenticity is just a fad, if it's just the thing for now, then we're all messed up. Whether you are a business person, whether you are a career person, You have got to be yourself and comfortable in your own skin at all times. I don't care what tag name you want to put on it. You know, that's the thing, Aprille. You have to be yourself at all times, or else you're never going to get anywhere.
And then, and one of the things I really appreciate about you is that as a professional woman, I mean, you're successful, you own 2 businesses, at least that I know of. And, you know, so you have things going on. You have a philanthropic mission that you do every year, a run. And, you know, there's all these things. How do you find, because you had to have a pivotal point for yourself, how do you find that comfortability within yourself to like, let me just be me, right? Let me just be real. Let me just show up the way that I show up. And what can you teach people today on, you know, how they can also activate their own authenticity?
By saying yes to themselves. You have to say yes to you. When you say yes to you, everything else from there is able to flow. Unfortunately, most of us don't do that. Most of us are not saying yes to who we are. You know, as a matter of fact, let me prove a point. How many of you watching right now do not Facebook Live because you're not comfortable with it? You're not comfortable with what other people what they may think, what they may say, what their reaction may be. You want to do it. You want to hit that button. But because of what you think they're going to say about you, what you think they're going to do behind your back, or their comments they're going to make, you don't do it. Say yes to you. If you say yes to you, what their thoughts, what they're thinking, their motivation, their intent is not going to matter. So answer that question. The next time you don't hit the button and you want to, are you really saying yes to you? And if you're not, you have to ask yourself some really uncomfortable questions, and then meet me in Freedom to Thrive, and I can help you with that.
Meet me in Freedom to Thrive. Boy, if that's not a client, I don't know what is.
That's the truth, Aprille. We're not saying yes to ourselves and all of our flaws, you know?
Well, you know what I think too, like, and people often ask me, and you know this, and I think, and that's part of the attraction. Like, I think with me is because I am authentic. I was just sharing with, I don't know if I was sharing with Tiffany yesterday or someone else, but I was saying that, Audra, if I can't be myself, as crazy as it is, as brash as I can sometimes be, you know, also I'm a crybaby too, which me and Tiffany were joking about that yesterday. She was like, yeah, when you start crying, we don't know what to do, because we like, okay, is this like the harsh Aprille, or who is this other person? It was a hilarious dialogue. So, but I have to be comfortable enough with me, right, Audra, so that I can't worry about what everyone else thinks.
There you go.
Right? Because if I do, I'll be trying to conform to what Audra likes, and then what Keenya likes, and then what Billy Bob on the other side of the world. How the hell am I going to do that?
You'll never be happy. You'll never be happy. You'll never find your own happiness if you're trying to find acceptance outside of you. So you got to say yes to you first. That's where it all starts.
What Oprah say? Tweetable? Wait a minute. Can you repeat that sentence again? That was good.
It just flowed. So no, I have to watch the
replay. What she has said was, if you're always seeking external validation, you're never going to find happiness within. It was something like that. Okay. Y'all have to watch the rewind to get the verbatim there. But Audra, can you just give people, like, what is one thing that they can do to start the process of self-acceptance? How do they say yes to themselves when they've been saying no to themselves for so long and yes to everybody else?
Well, most people don't say yes to themselves because they have no idea who they are, what they stand for, or what it is they truly want. That's the bottom line. So I would recommend sitting down and creating your own personal mission statement, figuring out what matters to you, what's important to you, because that'll also stop you from getting pulled in so many different directions, because you can use that's written down as a guide. So that's what I would recommend, is sit down and start writing your own personal mission statement. Whoa. What matters to you and where are you going?
I absolutely love that. Sit down and write your own personal mission statement. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write my own personal mission statement as a result of that. I think that's awesome. Audra, where can people connect with you, and what do you have coming up? I know you have a book coming up, Unchain Me Mama, and then you have a conference called Fierce Freedom Summit. Yes, that's happening. But where can people chat with you?
Okay, well, you can go ahead and chat with me at chat.authentic.audra.com. Is it down here somewhere?
It is.
Down here somewhere. Chat.authentic.audra.com. And I'm looking to speak with any woman that has suffered through difficult relationships with her mother that is willing to share and talk about it. Because for a lot of us ladies, that's where the identity crisis started. It started there. So whether you're someone who suffered through an adoption and you found out later, or your mother had a drug addiction, or you guys just didn't click and you felt invisible, whatever that issue is that impacted you and who you are in your relationship with your mom, I'd love to hear from you. Chat.authentic.audra.com. Thank you so much, Aprille.
Thank you, Audra. Tell Tony I say hello too. Tony is her husband. Thank you so much for just being amazing and being a doer and really just getting after your audience. So you heard it from Audra about being authentic and creating your own personal mission statement. I absolutely love that. And I don't think this is like woo-woo stuff. I think this is real. Like, I think that's part of the challenge is no one wants to stop. Everyone wants just to go full speed ahead, right? No one wants to do the work on themselves. And and I remember last year in 2016, it was a hell of a year, okay? And if I could say so myself, I could never talk or see her again because I literally thought I was going to go through, I don't know, I was like going through my own metamorphosis where I felt like my skin was just being like stretched like this slowly. But it was necessary, right? It was a necessary process on so many levels it was. And I believe that it's made me a better woman as a result, a better human, a better servant, a better everything that I am. You put all the titles, but at the core, I feel like I'm a better person just in general. And so those things are necessary, but we don't want to go through it, but we have to get to the other side and what's on the other side for us. And so I highly encourage that. I think that is an amazing opportunity for all of us to reconnect with ourselves and be aligned with what we truly want so we can attract what we truly deserve. So I want to take a quick commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a few minutes, and we're going to be talking to Keenya Kelly from If You Brand It.
Are you looking to increase your bottom line with your products and services? Are you wanting to connect with an engaged audience of entrepreneurs who leverage coaching, speaking, and authorship in their businesses? Well, we may be a great fit. We're looking for sponsors for CEO Fuel. If you're interested, send your inquiry to sponsor@ceofuel.live, and one of our team members will get right back with you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to CEO Fuel. It's Aprille Hunt. I am the host and the administrator of the online community Coach, Speak, and Write for Profits. If you're not a member and you're a coach, speaker, author, blogger, or consultant, and you're not in there, come get your entire business life and go join. We're on Facebook. I would love to have you and let you in. We're almost at 12,000 members, which I'm really excited about. Like something happened. Like when we hit 10,000, like the floodgates open, it was like, and everybody wanted in, like hundreds of people every day. It's crazy. And so if you're looking for a home and somewhere where we can celebrate you, but you can also be supported and meet amazing people and get great content from me, then I would love to have you. Other thing I want to mention before I introduce our next guest and our last guest for tonight's show is I first want to just say that I absolutely love entrepreneurship. Like, I don't know what I would be doing with my life if I wasn't an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurship, in my opinion, is about you having the drive to actually want to do something amazing. You having the drive to go and make change. It's not necessarily about business, but it's just about you having the drive to go do the thing, right? And that's, to me, why I'm really pushing this whole driven success movement, is because I want you to know that no matter what, no matter where you came from, no matter what you used to think, where you used to hang out, what you used to do, it doesn't really matter. If you can always make a new decision, you can make a new decision to change, to be different, to do differently, to show up differently, just because there's tons of things I used to do that I don't do anymore, right? And there's things that sometimes the people in your past will try to hold you to, or some of the people in your present that knew you from your past will try to keep you there when you've moved on. But they still living there, and they're trying to keep you in that same place to keep themselves feeling comfortable about their lack of progress and their lack of vision. And so I just want to encourage the underdog who's watching that I'm coming for you this whole year. not only are we talking about driven success in the book, and we're talking about these amazing authors that are a part of it, but we're also producing a docuseries that releases June 25th, 6th, and 7th, June 25th, 6th, and 7th, that Rob, which he don't even know it yet, but he's going to be live streaming it. And we're excited because we're going to be, talking about really doing some really big things. And if you're doing big things and you want to do big things with your life, let me see you type in the comments, big things. It's time for you to do big things, and big as described by you, not big as described by me or what you see on TV or what your neighbor is doing or your brother or whoever, but big as described by you. And not only are we producing a docuseries, a 3-part docuseries, of which Audra Upchurch is one of the cast members in, but we're also producing, listen to this, we are launching a nonprofit for teens called Teens Hatch 360. And it's all about us creating an incubator for teenagers who are creative, who are like me. I wasn't the best student, but I'm a smart ass chick, right? I wasn't the best. I hated school. I did. I mean, I just have to say it. I didn't really particularly enjoy it. I was bored. And I was bored because there were so many other things I wanted to be doing. And so what we want to do is we want to encourage education, both in school, and we want to encourage their entrepreneurial education on how they can learn how to implement and do things and create change in their family. And so I'm very excited about that. And what the Hatch looks like is us doing these summer retreats where we bring in some of our mastermind members, some of our icons, some of my students who are experts to teach these teenagers how they can profit and make great business sense and make money, as teenagers. And we're going to watch them pave the way. So we're going to nurture them and grow. And so that's what driven success is about. It's about us having the drive and doing our thing and making change, transforming lives and businesses. But it's about us also reaching back and helping the people that are coming up or that are going to be in charge of our world as well. And I will say this, because most people that follow me know I don't even like teenagers. I don't even like teenagers. They get on my nerves. However, I have to say that because I got to be authentic, right? I got to be real. They snappy, they got smart mouths, but here's what I appreciate. And this is what happens when you get vision. It's not always about you and what you like. It's not always about you and what you like. It doesn't mean you can't lead something. When you see a need and you have the resources and the ability and the influence to make it happen, then let something ride your back so that it can manifest itself into the world. So this isn't about me loving teenagers because they already know. I'd be like, oh God, somebody get them, right? Somebody else is going to be running this thing, but I'm going to be the person in charge. Right, I'm gonna be in charge with them on the side. So it's gonna be great, and I'm looking forward to our first summer retreat with these kids. And so I wanted to share that with you before we bring on our last guest. So without further ado, I want to. Oh, and if you have a teenager below that is entrepreneurial in spirit, type below what they like to do. My kid name is John, and he likes this. Let us know so we know that there is definitely a need for this. And what we're about to embark upon. So before before we close the show, I definitely want to bring on our last guest, and that is Miss Keenya Kelly. Keenya, where are you at?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Hey, so I really enjoy. I enjoy you. I enjoy your spirit. And where did we meet? Actually, we met online.
No, we met at the mastermind that I was a part of. You spoke at the mastermind here in Houston.
Oh, we met at Zenobia Miss Max Out Queen. We met at her mastermind. That's right. So this was last year, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. And so as a result, after that, you decided to become an Epic ambassador against your will. Don't tell the truth. We being authentic. We got Audra here to check us. We got Audra here to check us. We got Barbara here to check our social media stats.
Everybody here.
We got Tiffany, Dr. Tiffany over here to keep us in line. So We're going to keep it real with the people.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Keenya, I talk about your Keenya all the time because your Keenya, she's been talking about you forever. And I was like, Hoppo, who this woman? Right. And I saw you and I was like, I've been missing out. And so I joined CSS and ambassador, and I'm like, I really was missing out, but yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, I'm happy that you're part of our community and one of our icons. And you have the foresight to create this company called If You Brand It. And If You Brand It is a branding company. You help entrepreneurs and small business owners really cultivate the pulse of their brand, and not only just from the innards of the brand, but also the visuals as well. Mm-hmm. And Keenya, you and I both know that people get very consumed with branding and they want to brand. Can you please tell people, what do they need to do to cash in? Because it's like you can do all those things and you help people with doing all the things that they want. Right. But what is your, and you all should be listening from a brand perspective, from an expert's perspective. Keenya, what else do people need to do to cash in on the brands that they're building and currently cultivating?
Yeah, so thank you for first letting me be in here and for asking me that. So I always tell people three things. That one of the things that you want to do, because you're going to build a brand, you're going to have beautiful colors, hopefully. You're going to have a great logo, hopefully, intentionally. But one of the things that you have to do is show up. Like the number one thing that people say to me over and over and over and over and over again is, Keenya, you just show up. You just show up. And they don't say, Keenya, oh, you loud and you like something negative. They're like, no, you're always showing up. And so I always tell people, my eyes burning. I'm so sorry. My natural hair always gets in my eyes, but I always tell people that you should show up loud. That's number one. And what I mean by loud is that not as in your voice, loud as in they cannot deny that you just showed up, right? That's like on this broadcast especially with Audra, when you heard Audra talk, you were like, so whether you were listening to not prior to her, she showed up, right? And so my eyes really burning. So with Aprille, like when Aprille comes into a room, she doesn't scream, I'm powerful. No, she just is powerful because she is strong in whatever it is that she's offering. So with you have to show up very loud with your brand. So number one, you got to be clear with the brand for one. If you don't know who you are, like she said, then you can't show up beautifully in that direction. So I always say, number one, show up loud. But not only that, when you show up loud, offer something. Because if you offer something, then you can get paid. Second thing I say is that you have to show up beautifully. And so in branding, a lot of people don't understand that you can't just, build a site on Wix just because you're like, well, I can do a website. No, or you can't just hire this person over here just to build this site. Let me just get it up. No, if you're going to show up beautifully. Because I tell people all the time that you show up loud. Oh, you go to my website, this, and this. They love you in person. And then when they get to you online, they're like, #bootleg, right? And so when you're showing up all this extra and everybody wants to work with you, and then they get to buy the thing and they're like, I don't even know if she put any money into this thing, right? So you show up beautifully and then make an offer. Like you're always selling. That's number one. Even if you don't sell it, you're always selling something, right? Then the third thing I say is you have to show up consistently, right? Meaning, it's like, who was it? Aprille? No. Audra talked about the live streaming. Like it's the number one way to build a brand fast. It's the number one way to get to 6 figures, 7 figures, really, really, really fast. But you got to be consistent. Why? There's other people doing it every single day. And if you're not doing it, if the doors of your business or brand isn't open, you can't sell nothing. And then you can't build this like, know, and trust factor. And so you see a lot of people online, and I think somebody calls it janky brands or whatever. And I'm not saying you got to go and spend $45,000 on building this brand. However, if you already know you don't have 12,000 people in your group like Master Coach Aprille does, or if you don't already have 10,000 people on your email list, you're going to have to do something to get people to notice you. And that's why I say loud, beautiful, and consistent.
Nice. Loud. And what I love and I appreciate about loud is that it's not about your voice. It's about your presence.
Yeah.
Like I hope everyone caught that, because I recognize that I have a loud presence.
Yeah.
And part of that is on purpose. Mm-hmm. Like I want to look amazing, and I don't really have an air either. Some people might think I do, but I'm really not arrogant. Like I'm really fun. Like I told Tiffany yesterday. So I I swear we're gonna have to do we're gonna do a live after the show, okay? Can we do that? Who's available? Whoever is available, we're gonna hop on my live and we're gonna do a live after CEO Fuel. But seriously, so I love that. Show up loud as in your presence, like be in it, embody it, walk in with your head up, right, Keenya? And then I love what she said. I'm gonna skip over the beautiful part because that's her lane. The last thing is what I always preach, and that's consistency. And Keenya, and you and I coach together, even one-on-one and within the icon.
Right.
If you want consistent money, then you need to show up like you want consistent money.
Every day.
Every day.
And ask for the money every day. I learned that because I was like, oh, I'll just serve. And she was like, McDonald's ain't serving free fries every day. They selling fries every day. It's like, not every, but every day.
It's a little St. Louis twang on there every day. So, I think that's really important. So Keenya, I really appreciate that. And I know that people, they want to know what their brand personality is, what that looks like. Where can people find out more about what their brand really is about?
Yeah. So guys, I have created a online quiz that literally you answer 12 questions. They're a little tricky because you have to really think about your brand. So don't think about you as a person. If you have a business, think about it in terms of your business. And so I have a quiz. You just go to mybrandpersonality.com and you take this 12 question quiz. It's going to tell you if you're the lover, if you're the sage, if you're the outlaw, I'm the magician. And it's literally going to help you start the process of branding. Now, it's not the final. You can't say, oh, I'm the magician and I'm a doctor. These are my colors. No, it's going to help you get focused on, okay, so my personality is a real thing. Like, oh, this is normal. Okay. And so you can take the quiz by going to mybrandpersonality.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Keenya Kelly, thank you so much for gracing the virtual stage at CEO Fuel. I'll see you in the Icon Lounge.
Yes, ma'am.
So make sure you guys go and check out Kenya's mybrandpersonality.com so you can get your own brand personality assessment so you can see what's happening, what's popping within what you have going on. And here's what I really love about what she said, and that is the consistency. And people often ask me, and when I'm coaching and I'm teaching, everybody who has ever heard me speak in a room when this question has come up and they say, Aprille, how often do I need to show up on social media? And I always say, how often do your behind want to get paid? How often do you want to make money? Like, I think it's, and here's what's great. And Barbara Pender can speak to this too. So make sure you're following her for this and tell her I said so. And that is that just because your brand shows up online doesn't mean that you're a slave to social media. My brand shows up before I wake up. You understand what I'm saying? Because we are leveraging strategy tools, right? We're on the road to becoming iconic in our own lanes. And I'm not on social media 24 hours a day, but the brand has a very consistent presence, right? And a lot of that you can learn by following individuals like Barbara and Keenya to learn about how your brand can show up consistently on social media, right? Without you being exhausted by it. Because there's tools that you can use to help you do that. Many of you all, and make sure in this video, you'll see a link that says chat with me, and it says m.me/Epic Aprille. Make sure you connect with me because that's me and you chatting through my Epic Aprille page. So make sure that you do that. And that's one of the tools I use is leveraging Messenger to communicate with my audience. And so I just want to share that with you about the consistency. So if you take nothing else away from this show, and the bottom line, remember I shared with you that I was going to give away something. Oh my God, I forgot to share my new favorite thing. My new favorite thing is this company called Freshly. And Freshly, I wish I had a box. Oh my God. I wish I could run and go get it, but I can't. I would have to take this, run to the refrigerator. But Freshly delivers amazing, listen, this is for busy leaders, for CEOs, whether you want it for yourself or you want it for a gift. This isn't food that you have to cook. This is already prepared food. So this is already prepared, fresh meals that, for example, I just got a box today. I paid $39 for 6 meals, healthy. I was great. That was the dinner I had before I came on the show. And it's great for convenience, and you can pick all different kinds. It could all be the same or whatever, but it's a great gift for either yourself So you don't have to cook. If you got a busy week, you got a conference coming up, maybe you're having a team meeting, you can utilize different services like that that can really help you make life easier, right? Because we all have lots of things to do. So that's my new favorite thing is Freshly. And I wish they had an affiliate link, because if they did, I would have put it out there. Y'all go buy it. I'm for real. The food is really good. I just got a box today. And then I wanted to share the bottom line and what you can do in your business now. But first, before I do that, I want to say thank you to my guests. Make sure you're following Barbara Pender online everywhere. Make sure you're following Dr. Tiffany Stewart everywhere online. Make sure you're following also our icon, Audra Upchurch everywhere. And make sure you're following Keenya Kelly online everywhere. These women are on the rise. They are ones to watch and are blazing the trail in their respective lanes. And it is my honor and pleasure to be a part of their journey as their coach. So thank you, ladies, for being a part of the show. But I want to share with you the bottom line. The bottom line in your business is you have to make money. You have to get paid. Hashtag get paid in the comments. If you want to get paid, you have to get paid. You have to find ways to increase your revenue. You have to find ways to go after it. So here's something my mentor told me, Tori Johnson, several years ago. Every day by 5 p.m., pick up the phone and call 5 people. Yes, I said call. In this world of everything is automated, how can you close a deal today? How can you get yourself booked to speak today? How can you get the new client that has been maybe in your community and they consistently show up today? How can you assist someone with your expertise, your knowledge, your know-how today? And that is by picking up the phone. So my challenge to you between this Thursday and the next part 2 of the series is going to be that you get yourself a yes over that phone. Don't be afraid of the phone. Remember, we used to love the phone. Remember the party line? And all of us used to be on the party line and we would call our friends and it'd be so many people on the party line. You didn't know what the hell was going on the party line. But it was fun. Pick up the phone. Provoke success. That's my money bottom line tip for you for this episode is you have to provoke it. You have to make it happen. Success is not showing up delivered on your front door or in your mailbox. You have to get after it. And here's why people like Barbara and Keenya and Audra and Tiffany win. They win because they're willing to show up. They win because they're willing to do the thing that a lot of people won't do, which puts them in front of the line. I want you to be in front of the line. Hashtag front line. If you want to be in the front line, right? And listen, because I'm at the front of the line. I'm not even in the line. I'm inside, right? I don't want to be waiting in the line, right? So we don't want to be waiters. We want to be doers. We want to be action takers. So make sure that in your pursuit of success and what you're doing to attract the life that you want and build the brand you want and connect with the audience you want authentically via social media, then make sure that you are being consistent and showing up in just an awesome and amazing way. So I just had to share that with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next week, on next week's episode, we're going to have the remaining icons. There is 4 more individuals that I'm going to introduce you to, and they are going to blaze an amazing segment that we're going to be putting on, and I'm really excited about that. Shout out again to Rob. Make sure that you are following all of these individuals and connecting with me via Messenger. It's been my pleasure to host this evening's episode of CEO Fuel. My name is Aprille Hunt, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.
That's all for now. Be sure to tune in next time for your CEO Fuel. Remember, follow @EpicAprille socially everywhere to stay connected. Be epic.